As I said, I think it's good to be adventurous with food. It's good to try different types of food. I think I am pretty adventurous, and you need to be when you go to a different country. Trying different types of food is one of the best things about travelling. I've tried a few strange things before, but to be honest, I've turned my nose up at a few things as well that I just wouldn't touch. For example, I was offered the chance to eat tinned herring in Sweden, which is famous for having a very, very strong taste and strong smell, because the fish basically rots in the tin. In Sweden it's considered a delicacy, but I couldn't bring myself to try that. Also in China, chicken's feet are very popular. I just didn't like the look of it. Mexico is also a really great place to try different exotic food, and Mexican cuisine is amazing and very varied as well. There were a few things that didn't really appeal to me, but I tried them anyway. I used to live on tacos in Mexico, which are small round corn pancakes filled with meat and chilies and other things like that. It's a cheap and delicious snack. It's a staple diet in Mexico, and there was a taco stand at the end of the street where I lived. So basically I used to live on tacos, and it was great because I was pretty skint when I lived there. You can have pretty much anything you want on a taco, such as tongue, eye, lips, cheeks, and brains of a cow or sheep. To be honest, I wasn't brave enough to try all of them, but I did try some of them. I tried brains, for example. I guess I was hoping it might make me a bit brainier. Brains had a very unusual texture because it was very smooth. It was certainly very different to meat, but I found it very tasteless, so I wasn't very keen on it, but at least I tried it. When I went to the south of Mexico, I went to a market, and I was offered the chance to try chapulines, which are small red grasshoppers. They're insects, basically. An old woman was carrying around a big basket of these insects, and she asked me if I wanted to try them, but I'm not very keen on insects, alive or dead. I don't think I could eat anything with so many legs. I guess they're similar to prawns, but I still couldn't bring myself to try them. Okay, let's look at some of the words and phrases from this lesson. I'm pretty adventurous. I'm pretty adventurous means I'm quite adventurous. It means I like trying different things. I like doing different things. I like new things. I like new experiences. I'm not afraid of trying something different. I've turned my nose up at quite a few things. I've turned my nose up at a few things. If you turn your nose up at something, it means you don't like it. It literally means you think something smells bad, so your nose goes up and away from that thing. You don't want to try it, so you turn your nose up. You refuse to try it. You say you don't want to try it. You turn your nose up at something. I just wouldn't touch it. This means I just wouldn't try something. The fish basically rots. If something rots, then it becomes old and bad. Normally it smells bad, it looks bad, and you wouldn't want to eat it. It's not fresh. It's considered a delicacy. A delicacy is a type of food which is considered very high quality, very special. I couldn't bring myself to try that. If you couldn't bring yourself to do something, it means you couldn't make yourself do something. You refuse to do something. It doesn't matter how much you try, you can't do it. I didn't like the look of it. If you don't like the look of something, it means something looks horrible to you. Something looks bad. And you want to avoid it. Exotic food. Something which is exotic is something that's very different to what you know. something that comes from another country a long way away, something special, unusual, very different, is exotic. That didn't really appeal to me. This is something which you don't really like. It's not very attractive to you. You don't want to try it. It didn't really appeal to me. I used to live on... If you live on something, it means this is what you use to survive. You can live on a certain type of food. That's what you eat every day. If you say, I live on bread and water, it means that's the only thing you eat every day. It's a staple diet. A staple diet is the basic diet of a particular country. So in Asia, rice is part of a staple diet. It's something that everyone eats and is very common and very popular. I was pretty skint. Skint is a slang word in the UK and it means I have no money. To make me brainier. This comes from the adjective brainy. If you are brainy, it means you have lots of brains, you are very clever. So to be brainier means to be cleverer than before. A very unusual texture. The texture is the way something feels, either when you touch it or when you put it in your mouth. So a food can have a texture, an unusual texture. It feels strange or different. Very tasteless. Tasteless obviously means it has no taste. It's very bland. I wasn't very keen on. This means I didn't really like it. I didn't like it much.